Last week, we started our discussion on adolescents saying they wanted a 50-50 share on parental support and guidance. Now, we got to a point where they decided that what the parents are calling guidance is actually control hidden under the camouflage of guidance. Today, we are here to finalize on the discussion. As you all know, I'm a Man U supporter, so I see the scores differently. So adolescents, 0. Parents, 5. The parents need it. Trust me, today is going to be something else. So in studio with us to discuss today's topic, for the parents first, I have Mrs. Achampon, Redeemer's mother. You all know, Redeemer is not on set today. And then I have Elikem for the adolescents. Elikem is a student of University of Ghana. Akosia Newman for the adolescents. And our resource person for today is Dr. Ebenezer Tete. He's a clinical psychologist, an author, and a conference speaker and a career coach. Welcome to the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Today promises to be very interesting because Elikem came with his laptop. So parents, be ready. I mean, that's why I had to give you a head start. Okay. Now, last week they were saying that parents claim they're given guidance, but it is actually control. Redeemer, as a Redeemer is not here. Elikem, why are you guys saying such?
Thank you for the question. I'd like to say, my mom is watching, so mommy, I love you. So
this is a trap to mommy.
So over the weekend or the week, during the week, we happened to conduct a poll.
Okay.
And then we asked fellow adolescents and some adults, maybe I would say young adults yet, about do they feel that their parents guide or control them and why? And then out of 300 people we spoke to, 270 people are saying that parents control us. 270 people.
Poll.
270 people are saying parents control us.
Okay.
And 30 are saying they think parents guide them, which is not 100%. They think parents guide them. But within this 30, there are other factors to which they are saying they are being guided, but which will cause another cake for us to be eating. But we'll save that for another time. So these are some of the reasons why we are saying they control us. So one, parents are not giving us the room to make mistakes to learn from it. When I say mistake, somebody is at home saying that, why would you opt for a mistake? Or even somebody in the studio is asking that question. But we are not asking, we are not looking at it from that point of view. It takes, there is no baby, that learned how to walk without falling. If you want us adolescents to be better people in future, you have to give us that learning space for us to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Give us that atmosphere to explore. So we know that, okay, I did this, it didn't help me. So next time when I have to up my game by doing maybe picking a different plan or strategy. Now, when we want to get to a certain, that's one. If we
How
want
many
to
points
get
do you
to
have?
about a couple of them, I can't tell. So, if we want to get to a certain level, now it's every parent's dream that the child becomes better than him or her.
Okay.
So, if you want to get to a certain higher level, or better still, be richer or better than your parents, you are not expected. We don't expect you to use the same path. Or let me even put it in the context I put it. So if we want to get to a certain level higher or be richer and better than our parents, and we want to use the same route, it's an error. Because if you are using the same, they use the same route to get 100, and you want to get 1,000, you are using the same route. You will still be aware you'll get to the same point they get to. So we are trying to let them understand that, yes, we need to get to this point, but we both parties have to make out a plan. The advisors is good. Even funny enough, starting with their experiences. But we are saying that yes, this advice is good. But better still, both parties come together, pick a better plan or strategy to achieve or hit that target exceedingly. So that's another one. 3, we are saying that in parents' perspective of guidance is controlling. Just as we said the foundation last week. And then we are saying that when we are being guided in parents' context, the expectation for us is to keep mute, and then we listen to whatever they have for us, but not ready to listen to what we also have to add up, which is a problem. It's a very big problem for us to achieve the set goal.
Halt there. Dr. Sete.
Well,
He says parents' idea of guidance is they listen and keep mute, and they don't have to say anything about it.
well, my greetings to all our viewers this afternoon. I think he's speaking from that perspective. You know, children will assess things differently from adults. And so it's necessary that we listen carefully and try to see where we can help them to understand what guidance is. To guide someone, it means you are helping the person. It's not control. But assuming you make a step, and then out of experience, your parents, of course, they've been on that road before. So they know that is a trap right there. We have to physically, aggressively, in that context, help you out of that mess. So if you understand how to guide someone, then you will understand why sometimes it is necessary to be a little bit aggressive, not in a negative way, but to help you see it correctly. And I think you have to be studying the word guide very well, because that is where the confusion is. Because then there has to be some rules and discipline. Where the discipline is not there, listen, discipline is an uncomfortable thing, okay? Especially when it's being imposed on you.
So there's discipline in the guidance.
There is. And then let's look at the focus here. The focus is to get the child to become a better person. So there is some interest in trying to exhibit the disciplines or the rules that have been set. And it's not to distract your future, but it's rather to put you in line.
Is it possible that what is discipline in the guidance is what they term as controlling?
That is why I said it's about interpretation. So there has to be some communication, and you should be able to talk to the child and say, look, I'm not being difficult, okay? I'll give you a little bit of my story, okay? I come from a big family of 9. We lost 1, and then we're now 8. 4 boys, 4 girls, okay? So this is a typical Ghanaian family where there are a lot of kids in the house. My mother discipline is beyond the word, you know. She'll slap your face, you know, whilst you're praying morning devotion because you're not praying, okay? You know, because everyone is up and you have to pray, and if you live under her roof, you have to pray. Because morning devotion, it's not about who you are, where you come from. As long as you live under her roof, you will be conformed to the rules in the house. Okay, discipline. Yeah. It's a key word. So then, will you say that because she was yelling at you in the moment of prayer, she dislikes you? We have to interpret it very well, because if not, we'll get it wrong. Then comes to my father. Oh, we love him. You can get away with anything. I mean, daddy comes to the house, everybody. So I think there has to be a balance somewhere, okay? That as we're growing up, we quickly understood we saw the difference. Daddy is very okay with everything, we get away. But when mommy is coming home, you know, get your nonsense out and put yourself together. Because a child you need that as well, you see? So you have to be mindful as you interpret that word, guidance. Very important. If not, you may save it as something negative. You may interpret the actions wrongly. Meanwhile, the parents meant good. They meant good. So, you know, half the time, but daddy will say, your mom is coming, scatter. Everybody will put everything in order because she will not tolerate anything other than what she has said. So it comes to my dad. He was strict. He you know, there's no one particular way of parenting. Yeah. Okay? And that is where most people are getting it wrong. Because then we have people who are experts in this and experts in that, but really, kids are different. And every human being as a person, you know, with different in the same family, they're different individually with different opinions, different way of looking at things and all that. So you can't bring up all your children up in the same way. You know, you may be harder on some than others, and sometimes children don't understand. It's like, but maybe you're exhibiting some characteristics traits that we can, you know, the parents can see ahead of time. Like, I could have way, you know, and I say, you know, I can up by heart. Because, of course, when you are temperamental, right from your childhood, it shows. The kids will fight a lot and all that. So your parent may be aggressive on a particular child, depending on the development. Because remember, you know, parents are, you know, it's about authoritative and authoritarian. You see, a parent can be authoritative, but not authoritarian. It means that you should allow your child to be able to, you know, communicate in a positive way and share their opinions, and then you have to examine what they are discussing to see as to whether they should be allowed or not. See, so yes, I agree with you that some parents are not doing it right, because they themselves should be taught how to relate to the character, and some kids are also not getting it right because they misinterpret the action to be abusive rather than discipline. Controlling rather than discipline. So we've just started, so I'm sure we'll get somewhere.
So, Doc made a statement earlier that some bit of aggressiveness. Now, over the week, the past shows.
It's not aggressiveness. Let me think about it.
Okay.
Fairness. You have to be fair.
Okay, so
because you're going to start manipulating the word aggressiveness.
They will trap you just now.
I'm taking it back. So fairness. Yeah.
Now, in the past episodes we've had here, Mr. Chumesi did say something that there's a kind of clothing we wear in the house, and there's a kind of clothing we wear outside. Okay. Now, the reality is, as an adolescent, is those who have this firmness is really being imposed on them. Some of us were able to resist, like we can oppose this firmness in a good way. Yeah, we can oppose this firmness in a good way. But there are some people, when you say A, then they have to follow. Those people that this firmness are being like imposed on them, and then they abide by it very strictly. When they come out, trust me, it's a whole different game altogether. What they have not been exposed to, because of this, they being like they are being firm on them. When they come out, the things they've heard. Okay, when we come to school, we talk about this. We went for this party. My mother will not let me go for that party. So the moment I come out, everything I heard they did at the party, I must do some, so that when it comes, I can say some. So sometimes the level of firmness parents impose becomes a problem, because I know a couple of friends that their parents think, oh, my son and daughter is exceptional,
perfect,
very perfect. If I say this, but if I should tell the mom your daughter or son has done this, the mom will be shocked.
Send the video.
You see, sometimes you don't have to. So we adolescents, some of us just have to put them. Yes,
you do let our powers combine.
But we know parents will take it on a different level.
Sister Jampo.
Just like Don said, he said we do this to know the capabilities of each child, and so just Elikem is saying that the fairness is sending wrong signals to others, right? If you are home and there is this firmness, since Doc said we shouldn't use this firmness, you know, parents read a lot about attitude and behaviors of the adolescent, which they don't even know. And so the more the parents talk, we get to know, okay, this lady, as soon as you shout, has a different face, or even everything about the person changes. This person is, like I don't get it. And so the parent doesn't go on giving the straightness or the aggressiveness that we think we should give. There are different ways of treating every child in our home, because you get to learn and know that this is what suits this person. There are others that when they commit something and then you come out as a parent to say, okay, A, B, C, D, I think you shouldn't do. Sorry. Come back the following day. Okay, Mommy, you were saying A, B, C, D shouldn't happen. Why? and then the parents have the time to explain.
But what they're saying is parents are not explaining.
Because they don't come. I'm a parent, I have so-called offended you, the child.
I like the so-called.
Yes. How will I know if you don't come back to me?
Can I ask your daughter?
Yes.
Sweetie, are you able to go to mommy?
Yes, because they don't come. They think because mommy was angry or daddy was angry at a particular time, mommy or daddy is always angry. But you could see that when you find a balance, I did this, and this instant mommy was angry, and so she went overboard. But when mommy is calm, do adolescents take time to find the calmness of their parents? They don't. So they see their first action as being, okay, that's it.
Yeah, Elikem said that last week.
Yes. You should find the balance. At this moment that this thing has happened, definitely my parents will get angry. But at their, my father will term something, enjoyment mood, what happens? Okay. That is what adolescents should also learn.
Akosia?
I think the main reason why parents control the adolescent.
They control.
Yes.
You dear, you're convinced the
like,
control is there.
I don't even think it is, because like they have some kind of fear in them, because you are staying under my roof and you want to tell me like I'm talking and they want to talk back to me.
Okay.
Like,
But let me ask you a question. What generated that fear?
It's just that like they are scared we'll go wayward.
What generated the fear?
Okay.
Parents are advised from fear of making mistakes they made. But if you should always be talking from fear, the more the mistakes are bound to happen. Now there's because of people watching from other countries, I would have said it in a Ghanaian dialect, but they said that when you give the egg too much attention, it cracks. That extreme attention, it cracks. So if you are like, don't do this, this will happen. Don't do that, this will happen. I'll be tempted to find out what will happen. And it creates a problem. So we are begging parents, please, be free. I like when we had the next chapter, the man on the social media, he says when the daughter came, said that this is my boyfriend, he didn't be the Ghanaian parent there.
He went to pray.
He
said he was praying in tongues.
So you see, what we haven't here now is the influence of social media. Okay? A typical Ghanaian home has certain values. For instance, in my house, insults are not allowed. Okay? It doesn't matter how you feel, how upset you are, insults, zero. It's not allowed. So at this age, you'll be surprised to know that I find it difficult to, because insult itself is another form of abuse. Okay? And parents do that sometimes where they use some negative, and because of how they feel. Okay? So we'll talk about that. It's a very big topic. Okay? Because we have to look at how, the adults or the parents are bringing the child up, and then how they are receiving it. And my focus would rather be on parents rather than the adolescent, because to the age of 25, psychologically, they are still developing. Yeah. Okay? So this conversation we're having right now, in another 30 years to come, you'll move from that seat. Your language will change. Okay?
But they don't think so.
It will. It will change, and they know. They're smart. It will change because it's already changing. What you have are concerns that you are yet to find the answers yourself, and you're going to find those answers out of experiences. Okay? So you try to find out, or you're telling us why parents get this feeling, become urgent about everything, and they want to correct you, and because they've made mistakes. Not necessarily. When you become an adult, there's another door of your brain that opens, that you become more conscious of possibilities. Okay? So if my daughter goes out there and start mingling with some drug addicts and all that, there's a possibility of influence where the child will be influenced. You see, there's not so much of experiences we had, but it's when we become an adult, which you gather one day, it is just a way, it's something that comes naturally when you become careful and you extend that to your children, and then you're protecting them for themselves, not even for you. Because in the future, the child will say, so daddy, you didn't tell me, I didn't have the right advice. So yes, we're having this conversation for now, but I promise you in 20 years to come, your language will change naturally. Happen to all of us.
I think I want to say something that we are here today saying this. I would say that times are evolving. That's yes. So I would say like we used to say that how they were trained is how they want. That's the same thing they want to pass on. But culture is dynamic. So let me say the training is part of culture. Culture is very dynamic. Now in our era, there are a lot of things, we are being exposed to a lot of things. And then as we are here today, we are learning a lot from what we are being exposed to. So maybe in the context that Doc is saying that yes, there's some level of consciousness that comes naturally. But in the way he's saying that, oh, okay, when we get to, we understand why our parents are doing that. In that time, we would have a different, or let me say, style of
doing things.
Yes, doing things and communicating.
That's what you think now. But wait till you get there. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Now easier to prepare. Get fresh frozen yam chips from CH Foods for home use and events. Also available is our fresh frozen yam balls. All you need is to grab a pack, defrost and fry, season to taste and enjoy. Available in all leading supermarkets in 1 kg, 2.5 kg and 5 kg packs. For bulk purchase, kindly contact CH Food on 050-333-4377 or 059-997-3700. CH Foods fresh frozen yam chips and yam balls. Affordable convenience, a tasty option.
This advert is FDA approved.
Pure, distinctly different, and heavily blessed for supernatural exploit. Potter's Dew natural mineral water is drawn from the deep, refreshing wells of Potter City, Nature Pram, distilled and bottled with state-of-the-art machinery under strict hygienic conditions for satisfying and refreshing water. Quench your thirst with Potter's Dew natural mineral water, blessed and sanctified for healing and preservation. Insure mudahodi and one Potter's Dew.
Like mommy, like me.
Better malt, like mommy, like me. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello there. Are you considering embarking on a tour or traveling for business, education, relaxation, and recreational activities? Are you uncertain as to where to start? No passport, no itinerary, or simply tired of delayed services from travel and tour companies? Catch your breath. Expert World Tours is here to make your travel better. We provide a wide range of services such as flight reservation and ticketing, international tours, domestic tours, group tours, passport processing with birth certificate, hotel reservations, work and study abroad, visa application assistance, student and church excursions, hospitality services, football scouting, and many more. You can contact us on 0202 490190 or 026 1991 206. Contact us through email on expertworldtours@gmail.com. You can get in touch with us via our website at www.expertworldtours.com. Expert World Tours. Let's make your travel better, 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 better.
Turn your home and office design dreams into reality. Here at Lesh Fortune, interior design is our passion. Customized interior design solutions, top-of-the-range products such as curtains and accessories, blinds and accessories, trendy voile, bespoke hotel, home and office furniture, top-notch space design services.
I'm the CEO of Builders Estate. When it comes to putting the final touch on all my building projects, I look no further than Lesh Fortune for all my interior decoration needs. They bring your ideas to life.
Turning your house into a home takes more than just accessories. You need beauty and elegance, and the expertise is very important. That's why I choose Lesh Fortune Limited, because they have experience.
Yes, indeed. With our many years of experience, we would excite you. So make that call now. Call us on 0244-265588 or 0302-811163. Lesh Fortune Limited, luxuriously perfect.
Welcome back to the studio. If you've just joined us, you're watching Listen. Listen is the show which discusses the challenges and insecurities of adolescents. Today we are discussing controlling or guidance, the 50-50 share. Before we go on, I have some messages here. So from Facebook, we have Kojo Asempa. He says, this program is my favorite program for, he's watching us from Kumasi. Kojo, thank you very much for watching. And then she says, firmness and aggressiveness are different words with different meanings. Firmness and aggressiveness, she's repeated it. Dr. Tete says we would have change. Will we change? Because we would change the whole idea of parenting. So if they change, they will change the whole idea of parenting. I mean, it's easy to say now. Okay, then we have, okay, I think that's the only message we have here.
So, parenting.
Oh, no, one message, sorry. We parents really love and care about the well-being of our children. However, due to the hardships in the economy, we are unable to relate well with our children. Our children should bear with us. Thank you. Otto Musa. So the economy too is also playing its role.
Play a role.
Yes.
Well, I used the word aggressive, and I took it back quickly, because firmness should be the word.
Yes.
Okay. Now, parenting, promote and support the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual development of the child from infant to adulthood. So what is the cutoff point? When do you become an adult?
It said adolescence ends at age 20. So from 21,
right,
they are considered adults.
Okay. So that is the definition of parenting. Over the years, this has been the method that has been used, and out of that we have great kids all over the world, from presidents to judges and all that. So then the parents are not doing so bad. If we have to look at it realistically, being able to bring up powerful kids. So then, if you think parents are being too strong or controlling, how would you prefer your parents to relate?
Elikim, let me say something. So these powerful people that the parenting style has raised, if they're sitting here today, they may have a different perspective to the kind of parenting they had.
Like I said, I come from a very disciplined home, okay? A child, for me, is a raw material.
Okay.
In as much as they may have their own opinion, but I'm speaking from the perspective as an adult.
Okay.
Looking back, now I would say a child is like a raw material that you're supposed to turn them into work. Okay, so you guide them. You first of all have to observe the child, look at their weaknesses, their strengths, and some parents also have some weaknesses that they should be worked on. A lot.
Please repeat that.
Yes,
No,
some parents have some weaknesses they have to work on. You
Parents,
know,
yes.
you have to consider development. You have to consider, like he's saying, the kids are more open to some other kind of parenting that is foreign to us. For instance, my kids in the UK will speak and say, use the words like, don't be silly. And I say, hey, we don't say that here. That should stop in your school, your class. And then they will love to say African parents. But you see, I have been able to communicate to an extent where we can talk about the differences. Yes, we can talk about the differences. Do you understand? I have been able to come to their level to understand why they are behaving in that way, considering the fact that they lived in the UK and then they associate with other kids, and the environment, it's okay to speak in that manner. But then when you come to my house, it has to change. But I've been able to communicate for the child to understand that this is your culture. This is how we speak. This is what defines us. This is what makes us who we are as Ghanaians, and we stand out wherever we go. And then you mingle with other tribes and other countries and other people, and they have some cultures that would not be acceptable in our culture. Yeah. For instance, your child saying to you that don't be silly. And I say this not saying white people, but it's normal for a white kid to say to a father that they don't be silly. And the father does not take, he will not frown on it, because the child using the word silly does not necessarily mean, Daddy, you are silly. It's just an expression. Okay, so we have a problem with language, and our kids now adapting, those languages whereby the parents are not used to it. And it's not just a language, because language goes with a behavior, a character. Okay, so there's a whole lot going on. But I think, for me, parents should begin to assess the situation, and then we have to find a way of succeeding without necessarily making them feel we're controlling them. Okay. Because this subject is very big, and it should be examined carefully. Because on one side, the child is voicing out. Okay, we can do the typical African way to say parenting, to say, I am the boss, you listen, I detect, and that's it. Okay, they have been influenced by social media, where they are seeing other countries like Kenya is watching us, UK, and the cultures are, we global village now. Everything is mixed up. Okay, so they're getting confused as to whether are we being treated well, fairly, or this is an abuse. I mean, I'm watching programs on TV, and then an American TV, and a child or a young person says, come on, Daddy, don't be silly. And Daddy is okay with it. And then you say that to me, I'll slap your face back, forward, center, all over the place. You say, well, then again, that's an abuse, right? And that's child abuse. So let's look at the big picture here.
In Ghana, it's child discipline.
It's discipline.
Yes.
So you
in Ghana, it's child
but I'm saying that hating should be reduced. Oh, yeah. I think we can find other ways of disciplining our children without necessarily being physical on them. Okay, that is key. I'm no other parents who say, don't even go there. My mom till now, we still go to her, give her a kiss and say, Charlie, you and we've benefited from it, okay? I mean, my mom had 4 boys, and we're all very active. So you can imagine, and we start doing karate and all that. I mean, she want to do this, and now you give her that. Do you understand? So you go to a time, they only start throwing blows. Because you have 4 boys, you can see a great future in them, but they are still kids. And they are open, they're exposed to other friends and pick other behaviors from different homes and all that. So you, the parents, have to be firm within the rules you have set, and and maintain your discipline should be consistent. You can't be soft today and warm tomorrow, and show a lot of love at the same time, so that the child would know, say, okay, mommy is being hard because they want me to become a better person, but mommy loves me a bit. So I can go home today and go to my old lady at this age. When I arrive in Ghana and I haven't called the old lady, she'll still call me at this age, over 80 years, whatever. She'll still call me and she'll say, you're my child. So do you understand? The care, the concern, the love, everything. You can't, it's not something you will understand unless you actually become a parent. So she'll still call me, have you landed? Are you okay? It's not because I cannot take care of myself, but there's a connection, okay, between this attachment and some level of love that it cannot be explained unless you're a parent before you get there.
That is one of their major concerns.
Yeah.
The care. They think parents have overstretched the care.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where they see
Winnie, are you there?
Control. Because if at this age, your mother would want to know, okay, you told me you are setting off. Are you now in the country? Have you gotten home?
Yes.
And then they don't want it that way because
they want it that way. It depends on how you approach it as a parent. So my mom will call me and say, oh, I know I'm worrying you, but have you arrived? So from the way she has related to me over the years, it's clear that her discipline was not based on some abuse or control, but it was a conscious effort to make sure that I get it right. And by doing that, she may be a little bit hard on us, which is right, because discipline is the word discipline itself. It means a conscious effort to maintain, so something is consistent. You see, so that is where young people will take offense and think I've been controlled. But really, when you think about it, it's to your benefit. That is why parents are concerned. Because let me say this to you, like I said, children or the young person is a raw material. There are some mistakes that you will make them and you can never recover.
Please repeat it.
There are mistakes that when you allow freely, there's everybody keep jumping. There are mistakes that when you get to do them, it becomes a scar on you for a very long time. It may damage your future. And the parent, if you fail, your parents have failed. The typical African setup is that we live our dreams through our children.
Exactly.
Because the things we are not able to do, we pray every single day that my daughter or my son will become. So I hope there's an expectation, not because, of course, how long is your parents going to live? They will die and go. But you are the one going to benefit. But it is some sort of level of satisfaction to know that I had this child or have a child and they did well and it's to your credit and your credit. So the word control, I need you to break it down for me. But from that, I'll start punching holes in your definition of control. So let's go there.
Wait,
define the word control.
You said something about parents living their dreams through their children.
Yes.
And it's one thing the adolescents keep talking about. Now, when you say their dreams, is it what they haven't been able to achieve? I wanted to be a doctor. I couldn't be a doctor. So by all means, my child must be a doctor. Or I want to make sure that my child succeeds.
I'm being balanced here. That is why I started by defining parenting itself. Helping the child in developing, physically, emotionally, socially, whichever way possible. So that is a responsibility of the parents. It's a responsibility.
Yeah.
So we can't even run away from it unless you are not a responsible parent. But you will find yourself being concerned and worrying that the child, will be better than yourself, like he has said. In the process of trying to secure the future of the child, you end up, if you are not careful, overdo it.
What's overdo?
Overdoing is when you detect and you don't communicate.
It's a serious.
Okay? When you dictate, but please hold on again. I like you, and then you go on the internet, start defining the word control, because I'm going to punch holes in your presentation. Okay, so because that's a key word, and that is the same word that we used twice, and that has been the main concern, in totality of everything that you feel and you're unsure about. The word control has been your key word, and that's what you're using to explain what the young people have been feeling. So we'll come to that. I'll give you a second, I'll come to that, but let me break this down.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is this. Parents are to also consider our current atmosphere in terms of how the children are open and exposed to some other way of parenting.
Yeah.
And that is why some of them are beginning to feel that this is control rather than being guided and being helped to become whatever they are. In the book of Samuel, there's a little story there about a young man called Samuel, which was the book was written after him, and his mother, we know about Sarah Hannah, who couldn't have a child, and finally she had Samuel, and she sent Samuel to the house of God to go and learn the ways of God, or how to become a better person. And of course, there's a destiny on his life to be a prophet. But Eli also had 2 sons in the house. And these sons of Eli were vindictive. They had no respect. They were asofomba. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Yes. Pastors' kids, they were. And we know that pastors' kids go through a lot, right?
Oh, yes.
So we'll talk about that next time, okay?
It's a topic.
So that's another topic altogether.
Yeah.
So they were living with the privilege of being, their father being Eli the priest. They had access to certain things. But Samuel lived in the same house, but had a different destiny and was different. In that same house, Eli, as a father, had to discipline all the children in the house. I'm sure Samuel is one of them. Okay, so he gives rules and instructions. But interestingly, his own kids, Hophni and his brother, were very stubborn. They would not take anything from their father, to the extent that he made them priests. He anointed them. They became priests of the house, and they were still misbehaving. And the father several will call them and say, look, I'm getting reports from you. You're embarrassing me, blah, blah, blah. But Samuel, knowing who he was, because some of you kids, you have to look at your parents and see how they are struggling to bring you up. Get all this rubbish out of your head. You have friends, some of your friends, where you're going to be tomorrow, they will not be there.
Yeah.
I keep saying that in one class, in this class or this place, this gathering here, among us, we have judges. In the future, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have engineers. We also have prisoners.
Yeah, you said that on Friday.
Yes. We still have prisoners. And in one class, in 20 years later, 30 years later, everyone is going to be somewhere. But it starts from where that class, the decisions you make. So please understand the concerns of your parents. The idea is not to control you. The idea is to shape in, guide, promote, support, and in the process, it may come across as if they're trying to controlling you.
You'll be kind enough to join us again next week, because my boss is telling me that time is up.
Well, Mr. Boss, we'll end here today, and we'll see you another time.
Today, we're not able to talk to the audience because we've run out of time, as always. But there's a lady here, she says, Doc, please, my boy is 2 years old. I want to know the basic training of a child. I think I will let her talk to you directly.
Yeah, she can talk to me after the show.
We don't have much time. All too soon. I mean, I'm sad because I don't think we've reached anywhere of the topic. Okay, we can continue the discussion. I have 3 minutes. Elika, no, Mrs. Achampo, you wanted to say something?
No, I think what's Akosia, right? Akosia says something which I've been thinking about. The fear of parents. That is what is making us
become
controlling over you. I don't think parents have fears. No, we don't.
Let me ask the audience if I have time.
No, we don't.
Do you think parents have fears? Persis, you have the microphone. Do you think parents have fear? Please.
I believe parents, but I don't think all fears drive parents to control, because control comes when guidance fails, and we call for it based on our behavior.
Say that again.
Control will only come.
No, not that bit. We do what? You said we call for it.
We call for control.
Yeah, clearly, loud.
We call for control.
Who are the we?
We adolescents sometimes call for control.
That's what I wanted.
Sometimes we call for the control our parents give us. And there's this concept of GNC, which has to do with guidance, navigation, and control. And it's a concept in engineering.
Okay.
And in guidance, you want something to take a particular path. And you
like
give
the
it
flood waters of this
yes,
town.
you put systems in place to make it happen. In the navigation, you want to know at every point in time, how is that thing
going?
So our parents are constantly checking up what we are about and everything. And then the control only come in when the guidance fail. So we have to use force to implement whatever.
At what point do you think the guidance has failed? From your perspective?
From my perspective, for example, if our parents give us a curfew that maybe 10 p.m. you should be in bed, and I choose to sit in the hall.
My boss says I should wrap up. Keep that thought.
Right.
I think that next week we have to come back and finish this because it's getting more revealing and informative and educative. All too soon, my boss says I should wrap up. It's not my fault. It's Josiah's fault. Thank you so much for watching and joining us. We've only been able to do this by our kind sponsors, Sensu, CH Foods, Better Malt, Lesh Fortune Limited, all of them. We're so grateful that you've been able to bring us to this point. Remember that you can follow us on Instagram. The handle is listen_adolescent. And then on YouTube is Ali Television Network. Listen, that's a listen. So you can like, share, and subscribe. We also stream. We'd like to say thank you to KMTV in Liberia and also to the live studio audience, to my guest. And as always, I forget my name. My name is takyi-appiah, your host. Next week, we promise to have the same team. I think next week maybe Elikem will do a PowerPoint presentation. Thank you so much for watching. As I always say, adolescents, it's not always a trap. And parents, don't be the most, what do you say, suspicious people on earth. Stay tuned as we come your way next week, again, completing this topic. Thank you very much for watching.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
It is estimated that about 8,300 million metric tons of virgin plastics have been produced since 1950. Out of this, 6,300 million metric tons have turned to waste. That is as of 2015. Only 9% is recycled. 79% find itself in our environment and at landfills. The question is, what is the impact of all of this on us? On our health, on our environment, on the natural resources on which we are living? We want to delve into the issues of producers, collectors, policy, and the household level. You and I, how are we contributing to this problem? And what are the solutions? Look at what we are looking at right now and the problems that if we project in another 15 years, the kind of problems that we are going to have. And it's not only going to be related to flooding, it's going to be more. Join us on Trash Talk as we ask the salient questions, but more critically to educate you at the household level on the menace of plastic waste.
Do you want to know how to build with the latest building technology? Or do you want to build a smart house? Or do you want to know how the world of real estate is fast changing? Then your best bet is Real Estate TV. Because on Real Estate TV, we will tell you how to build with the latest building technology, show you why you need to build eco-friendly houses to save cost, and tell you what the game changer in the real estate industry is all about.
Real Estate TV is sponsored by
EcoBlock. If you can imagine it, we can produce it.
Real Estate TV will make it happen.
Utterly explosive! That is a brilliant hit! Uma, my property under construction has been vandalized by landlords and some of the workers have sustained serious injuries.